Well, hello everyone, and welcome to episode 1 of Anticipating the New Workplace Normal Post-COVID-19. My name is Gretchen Asher, and you may have seen the video series I've done, which is KTBR, Keep the Business Running, during the days of COVID-19. And now I want to take a look at what's going to happen beyond COVID-19. And for those of you who don't know me, I have been a change management consultant for nearly 3 decades, consulting primarily to Fortune 500 companies. And this is, without doubt, one of the biggest changes companies, I was going to say US companies, but actually companies around the world will have to make regarding how do we get, what is the new normal? Post this pandemic that we are dealing with all over the world. So I have been deep into some fantastic research, and I want to kind of share this information because I've dug through tons of stuff in an understandable way, hopefully. So my sources for this information, and I will be doing about, I think, around 10 to 15 of these, hopefully semi-short videos. And just want to cite my sources. Of course, Gartner, Gallup, Owl Labs, and Global Workplace Analytics, which has fantastic data. And just in case Kate Lister, CEO of Global Analytics, ever sees this, probably not, but just in case, I want to send you a big love bomb, boom, for all the work that your organization does. It really is fantastic. So in this episode, we want to take a look at what might be the trends of ushering in this new era of post-COVID-19. What will things look like for the workplace, and how do we get ready for what this new normal is going to look like? And I will be sharing some statistics that I have dug up. So, and this episode is a little stats heavy, so bear with me, but it's really important to lay the foundation. So, all right, let's go through the data. And we're going to first talk about who is eligible or even compatible to work from home. What do those numbers look like? And also these research firms that I've mentioned, they are doing a lot of surveying to find out what are people saying. What have people been saying toward the end of 2019? What are they saying now? So I'll be sharing that information with you, and then we'll build on the story as we get into other episodes. So Global Workplace Analytics, boom, to Kate again. Their current estimate is 56% of the US workforce can work remotely, work from home, based on their job compatibility. And there are plenty of jobs that just are not suited to work remotely or work from home. Now, 56% of the workforce that fits, they could work from home. That is a whopping 60 million people that are eligible to work from home. Now, currently, the stats are only 5 million people are working from home. I think that's really fascinating. That's a huge amount of room to create what this new normal is going to look like for us. Oh, also, Global Workplace Analytics predict that by the middle or ish of 2022, 25 to 30 million employees will actually be working remotely either 100% of the time or several days a week, and going into the office a few days a week. That's 25 to 30 million people by sometime during 2022. That's a lot. from Owl Labs, the state of remote work, their study for 2019, for last year, is they say 80%, 80% of employees they surveyed say they want to work from home, either full-time or part-time. And now remember, this is from their state of work study for 2019. So this information came up before the pandemic hit us. Now, what are employees saying they want to do? And this is pretty interesting. According to Gallup, 35% of employees would be more likely to change jobs just for the opportunity of working remotely full-time. Those are people who really want to work from home on a full-time basis. Now they break that down. Okay, and I have to check my numbers here. 47% of millennials would change jobs in order to work from home. That's 47% of millennials changing jobs to work from home. And 31% of boomers say they would be happy to change jobs in order to work from home. So the trend is moving toward more flexibility in the workplace. Now, I don't think that surprises anyone, right? Because that's been happening for a while. From Gallup, flexibility is one of the highest ranked benefits by millennials, even higher than tuition reimbursement. And let that soak in just for a sec, because that's really interesting. Okay, now we get into some of the financial information. Now this is an attention grabber, so watch this. More than a third of workers would take a pay cut up to 5% in order to work from home at least part of the time during the week. Now, there's more on this. 1/4 of those respondents said they would take a 10% pay cut in order to work from home at least some of the time. And we have more stats. 20% surveyed said they'd take an even greater pay cut in order to work from home, work remotely, at least part of the time. Okay, so what do we do with this information? You might be wondering, but now is the time for corporate leaders, that top executive team, to really get ahead of this. The numbers are telling us, particularly after this experience with COVID-19, because we were all kind of forced to work at home, those of us who can, and still keep the business running. Now we've had numerous weeks, if not even a couple of months under our belt, and we're adjusting better. So what's really key now, because the workplace is not going to look like it did before this pandemic in any way, shape, or form. It's really critical now that the executive teams of companies really start looking at this and putting their heads together as a decision-making leadership body and decide what's going to happen, what's going to happen with your workforce, what's going to happen with your workplace environments. And Amazon just announced, Jeff Bezos just announced that he is instigating a voluntary work at home opportunity for Amazon employees, actually through or into October so far. So he's thinking ahead, what do we want to do to keep our workforce as safe as possible? So it's time now for corporate executives to be thinking about, what does this look like? You all hopefully are chatting as an executive team via video conferencing and really looking into this. And also I am calling all HR executives because a lot of this lift is going to be in your wheelhouse. So I have a couple of key questions um, that I hope you are all discussing now. First one is, what does this mean for our company? And particularly after you've seen the statistics about the desire to work remotely and the desire for flexibility. What does this mean for your company as you think through coming out of this pandemic? Hopefully it does end someday. I'm just assuming that it will. So what does this mean for your company? Also, don't forget, take a look at what are the pros and cons of offering work from home opportunities for your employees for whom their job is compatible to work remotely. And this is really, really critical. If you haven't started already, it is time to start surveying your employees to find out how this experience has been for them, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and what they want moving forward as restrictions eventually become lifted and things get back to whatever this new normal is going to be. So this is a perfect time to start formulating your position as soon as possible about what your company is going to be doing and what the plan is once restrictions begin to lift even more. So this is it for episode 1. Please contact me. There's information below in the box if you have any questions. I'd be happy to help. And coming in episode 2, that it's a 2-parter, we're going to look at the whys of remote working and have some very interesting information there as well. So I hope this was helpful, and join me shortly in episode 2. And until then, stay safe, everybody. I am the Change Whisperer.